Hello everyone, this is Rebecca and welcome back to Handout 3 of Basic Geometry. Let's take a look at the 5 questions today. So for the first question, we are looking at RSS EOY 2022 Paper 1 Question 8. And in this diagram, it's mentioned to us that PTQ, TVW, SVR are straight lines and PQ is parallel to SR. We are also given that angle QTU is equals to 24 degrees. RVW, this angle is equals to 39 degrees. And angle TUV is 73 degrees. We're asked to also find angle TVS, UTV, and reflex angle TUV. What a mouthful of information. So let's organize it by putting what we know down onto the diagram. So we have PTQ being a straight line. All right. We have TUV also being a straight line. TVW, pardon me. This is the one. And we have SVR being a straight line. All right. Oh, okay. I am going to use yellow highlighter for line SVR because we have a pair of parallel lines. Yeah. It's told to us that PQ is parallel to SR, which means that there are certain angle properties, right? Special angle properties that we can make use of. Okay, and since TV is actually a straight line, TVW, that's a transversal. So now, knowing all these, state your reasons. Clearly, in your working, find angle TVS. So TVS will be this angle over here. And if you notice that this particular angle is between two lines that are straight, and vertically opposite it is is 39 degrees. So using vertically opposite angles, angle RVW is equal to angle TVS. So that's 39 degrees. Next, we want to find angle TUTV. So let me use another color to represent it. UTV refers to this. Okay, and let's see. Are we able to find any angle within the triangle? Maybe not. So we have to consider something else. And we could actually find an alternate angle. Are you able to spot an alternate angle? Yeah. So we can actually see that the big angle UTW is equals to angle TVS. And this is by alternate angle. So that's 39 degrees. So this big angle here is 39 degrees. If we take away 24 degrees, we will find the angle. That gives us 15 degrees. Let me indicate it in the diagram. All right, so from here, let's now find the last part of the question. Reflects TUV. Reflects TUV. That means we are looking at the big angle, the one that is greater than 180 degrees. Now let's have a look at this triangle. We already have two angles here. Can we find the third angle, which is the obtuse angle TUV? From there, we can find reflex angle TUV. So I'm going to put my working over here for part C. Let's find angle TUV, that is obtuse first. So 180 degrees minus 15 degrees minus 73 degrees. 92 degrees. Okay, so we have obtuse, 92 degrees. And now we can find the reflex angle TUV. So we take 360 degrees minus 92 degrees. And our property is angles at a point. So our answer is 268 degrees. Let's take a look at the next question, taken from Zhonghua Secondary School, 2023 EOY question 14. So we are told that in the diagram, CDEF is a straight line. AB is parallel to CF, and BC is parallel to EG. Angle BAG is 100 degrees, angle FEG is 42 degrees, and angle CBD is 58 degrees. So we want to find angle BCD, BDE, AGE, and finally, if AG is parallel to BD. So you can see this question it has many, many marks given to it. Okay, and if you were to add all the marks, we realize, wow, it's 9 marks. Let's treat every part with seriousness to follow through it. Okay, so as usual, let's list down whatever important information is given to us. CDEF is a straight line. Let me just highlight that in yellow. AB is parallel to CF. Okay, so this is the line that is parallel to AB. Let me also highlight in yellow. And we have another pair of parallel lines, which is BC parallel to EG. This one I will highlight it in green, right? The angles that are identified have also been put into the diagram. So now let's try to find angle BCD. This is angle BCD. And how do we find them? How do we find it? So let's take a moment to observe and see how we may find this angle BCD. Right, I actually spotted a pair of corresponding angles corresponding to angle FEG. So this is also 42 degrees. So angle BCD is equals to 42 degrees because of corresponding angles where what? BC is parallel to GE. All right, because there are many pairs of parallel lines and we need to identify the right pair in order to give the reason that it's reasonable. So next, find angle BDE and let's use another color. For BDE, it's this. And you realize that this is outside of the triangle where the other two angles are found. If we were to add 58 and 42, that will give us the exterior angle. Yeah. So 58 plus 42 degrees will give us 100 degrees. And the reason is because of exterior angles of a triangle. course, what you can do is also to find angle BDC, this angle over here, and we can work on the property of adjacent angles on a straight line to get your answer. That will take 2 steps. Let's move on to the next. Find angle AGE. Let's use another color. AGE. So we are looking at this angle. How are we going to find it? So this is a wide angle, obtuse. And you notice, wow, okay, I don't think I have any parallel line that will give me this answer because I can't assume that AG and BD are parallel. Hmm. So let's consider drawing a straight line. I'm going to draw a straight line that will make existing parallel lines helpful, which is to draw it across. And I am going to label this H. Let's see if we can find angle AGH first. Okay, so angle AGH will actually be looking at a pair of interior angles. So we have 180 degrees minus 100 degrees based on interior angles. This will be 80 degrees. Now, we want to find the other angle at the bottom. And if you pay close attention, you will actually see that there is an alternate angle. This being 42. Okay, so angle HGE equals to angle FEG based on alternate angle, and that is equals to 42 degrees. So therefore, angle AGE is equals to 80 degrees plus 42 degrees, and we have 112 degrees, right? Oh, pardon me, 122. Finally, is AG parallel to BD? Okay, so now we want to find out whether they are parallel. So what are some properties that we are able to um, consider before we know if something is parallel? Let's look within A, B. Okay, let's look within this particular shape. Okay, this particular shape over here. We're able to see that we could actually find this. Okay, let me use another color as well. We could find this angle here by means of an interior angle. Okay, so angle ABD, let me use the space here. All right, so this will be part D. Angle ABD is equals to 180 degrees minus 42 degrees minus 58 degrees, and that's making use of interior angles. And it's 80. Okay, now this is 80 degrees. Now, from here, you notice that angle GAB, this particular angle over here, and angle ABD is 180 degrees. Right? And if it's 180 degrees, it proves that this line over here and this line over here must be parallel. And what angle property is it based on? is actually based on interior angles. Okay, so from here, the reason will be the converse of interior angles. Now let's put it in words. Is AG parallel to BD? Yes, because angle GAD plus angle ABD is equal to 180 degrees due to the converse of interior angles, right? So this will be our answer. Now let's move on. Now we have YHSS and it's EOY paper 1 question 11. And in this question, we are told that in the diagram, we have GFE as a straight line. Okay, so we have a straight line here. We have CG equals to GF. So we have an isosceles triangle. HG parallel to DE. Angle HGC is 40 degrees. Angle DCF 85 degrees. Angle DEF 56 degrees. Now, let's put in the information that we know of. GFE was a straight line, right? CG equals to GF. Let's use another highlighter. So these two lines are the same. HG parallel to DE. Let's use another color. All right, I think that's about it. So CGF, angle CGF refers to this. Okay. So I can actually see a pair of parallel lines, yeah, and the transversal allows me to find interior angles. Using interior angles, this particular missing angle, yeah. So angle CGF will be 180 degrees minus 56 degrees minus 40 degrees due to interior angle, and we have 84 degrees. Moving on, and now claims that CF is parallel to DE. Do you agree with N? All right. So you can see the slant in this handout is that there are questions asking you to prove some things. And when we prove, we can't just prove out of nothingness. We have to prove out of certain facts that we have found, certain information and properties that we have found. So let's see whether CF is parallel to DE. Let's consider finding this angle over here, angle GFC. Okay, why can we find this angle? Because within this angle, GFC itself, which is isosceles, when we find this missing angle, we are able to use the converse of corresponding angles to see whether it is indeed 56 degrees. If it is, then we can say that due to the converse of corresponding angles, the two lines are parallel. Okay, so now let's find angle GFC. All right, so from here we have 48 degrees and it is not 56 degrees old. Okay, so our answer, we disagree because if CF is parallel to DE, what does it say? Angle DEF would be equal to angle CFG due to corresponding angles on parallel lines. So this will be part of B. Moving on to the next question. We have SFSS 2023 EOY question 7. And here we are told that a rectangular piece of paper, ABCD, is folded along CE. Now, rectangular means that all sides are right angles. Line FG is drawn such that CE is parallel to FG. Angle CFG is 28 degrees. All right. Now give a reason for each step of your answer. Find the value of angle X, Y, and Z. Right. So let's move ahead with putting in all the information that we have about this question. We have a rectangular piece of paper. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put right angles on each side of the rectangular piece of paper. Okay, this is folded in, so it is 90 degrees here, right? For angle BCD, you can see that there are many folds around an area, quite a bit of things. I'm not going to put the 90 degrees there. Maybe just make a mental note that it is 90 degrees, okay? Now, what else are we given? We are told that CE is parallel to FG. So this is a pair of parallel lines. We are also given an angle, 28 degrees. Let's find angle X. Angle X. All right, angle X is over here. How do we find it? And if you notice, this is where our parallel lines come in helpful, right? Because I can actually see alternate angles. So angle X is 28 degrees due to alternate angles. All right, next one, angle Y. So within this particular triangle, CEF, you have two known angles. We can now find angle Y by sum of angles in a triangle being 180 degrees. So we have 62 degrees. All right. Now we want to find angle Z. Okay, and if you were to look a little more closely to the diagram, you realize that this angle Z is being formed because there is actually a side of the piece of paper that was folded in. If we try to imagine folding it back, all right, this portion here will actually be here, and this makes the angle BEC to be 62 degrees. Furthermore, one more observation is that if you notice, this is also a straight line, which means that these three angles are indeed adjacent angles on a straight line. So I'm going to write my working over here for angle Z. Angle Z is equals to 180 degrees minus twice of 62 degrees. Okay, and our answer will be 56 degrees. So this will be it for a question from Springfield. 56 degrees. All right. Finally, let's take a look at RSS 2023. We have paper 2, question 3. And here we are told that in the diagram below, AB is equals to AC. Angle BCD is 148. Angle CAE is 10 degrees. We have angle AED being 96 degrees. And ACD is a straight line. Wow, quite a bit of information. Let's just quickly put it down first. So we are given AC equals to BC. Okay, I'm going to highlight these two lines of the same length. We have a straight line, ACD. Allow me to just, yep, in another color. All right. So let's find angle BAC. Angle BAC. Angle BAC will be here, right? And let's see what we can do to get to this angle. Within the triangle ABC, we have isosceles, right? It's isosceles. So angle BAC is actually equals to angle ABC. And these two angles combined, right, actually adds up to 148 degrees based on the property of exterior angles. So we can say that angle BAC is equals to, okay, should I put it this way? If we add to, okay, let's make it equal first. Equals to angle ABC based on the property of isosceles triangle. Then now angle BAC plus angle ABC is equals to 148 degrees. Now this is actually based on exterior angles. And therefore angle BAC would be half of 140 degrees. If AB is parallel to DE, well, let's see. And we have to always base this on a property, an angle property. So if you look and see if these two are indeed parallel, then if we were to consider interior angles, these two angles must add up to be 180 degrees. So now let's see whether it does really add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so angle A, B, BAE and angle AET. Let's add up. This is what I here. Angle BAE plus angle AED is equals to 74 degrees plus 10 degrees plus 96 degrees, and it's 180 degrees. Oh, okay. So yes, we definitely can prove that the two lines are parallel. So my answer, yes, since angle BAE plus angle AED is equals to 180 degrees by the converse of interior angles, AB is parallel to DE. So this will be the solution. Right, so we've come to the end of Handout 3. I hope that it has been useful for you. There are minor pauses here and there. Actually, it's to allow you to really look at the question on your own and independently try to spot certain angles that you are able to find based on the angle properties. Now, you may notice that even if you are given some time to look through all these, your observations might not be the same as my observations. And it's because the topic of angles is so interesting and it's so creative when we actually bring in angles, viewpoint of angles from all kinds of angles. Yeah, literally. And that really makes the topic one of the most fun to yeah, to solve. Personally, this is my favorite topic. And if you can just imagine, this is like a word search, and when we do word search puzzles, we are just basically scrambling, being busy over finding the answers that are already hidden there, and there are small little clues given in letters in different forms, just waiting for us to pick them out. So you can just imagine that basic geometry is somewhat like a word search. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you in the next chapter. Goodbye.